afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Judy Simpson. Today we're in the kitchen with Across the Fence for our annual holiday recipe program. Before we meet our chefs, we want to thank you all for your cards and notes, including Annette Marcinko of Warren, Carolyn Lamb from Johnson, and Priscilla Campo of West Swanton. Across the lake, we'd like to thank Marion Sweet in Plattsburgh and Fumiko Pacino from Keysville. From Hancock, Vermont, Judy Jakes, and from Moncton, Liz Pecor. Please know that all of your notes are read and very much appreciated. And now our congratulations to the winner of last month's free drawing for the Casserole Cookbook. It goes to Sharon McMahon from Waterford, Vermont. Sharon, your cookbook will be arriving in the mail anytime now. This month, one of you lucky viewers will win this 100-page book, Christmas Country Style. It's filled with recipes and creative ideas on how to make the holidays a festive time for you and your family and friends. I'll let you know how to enter at the end of the show. It's my pleasure now to introduce our chefs who made all of these holiday goodies for us. Carolyn Peak from Williamstown and Lynn Jarvis from South Hero. And we'd also like to welcome back Heather Fisher from Colchester and her children, Ethan, Caden, and Eliza. Great to have you back.
Great, it's great to be here.
And we'll turn it over to you.
All right, thank you, Judy.
Sure.
All right, I brought all three of my kids here today, but only two of them decided to make recipes, and we're going to start with Eliza. Eliza, can you tell us what you made?
Sugar cookie truffles.
Sugar cookie truffles, and if you can see those, they look gorgeous. How did you make those, Eliza?
First, we started by baking 12 sugar cookies and putting them in the blender, and then adding some cream cheese and starting to make them into balls.
So you put them into the blender, the 12 sugar cookies. Now, we made those from scratch. You could also buy them at the store, but we put them in the blender, and we made them into like fine crumbs, and then we added some cream cheese, which then made like a dough. And what did you do with that dough, Eliza?
We made balls and then put them into the refrigerator.
So we rolled them into little balls, put them into the refrigerator so they'd harden up, and then what?
And then while they were sitting, my mom melted some white chocolate, and then my mom dipped them into
the white chocolate. So we dipped them into the white chocolate, and then what did you do when they were, after I dipped them into the white chocolate?
We put some sprinkles on top of them.
Yes, you put some sprinkles on top of them, and there they look great, and you would love to have these for the holiday season, and you could put any sort of decoration that you like on the top. As you know, in the past years, I've made sandwich cookie truffles, so we decided this year we'd try another really yummy, delicious truffle, sugar cookie truffles. Thanks, Eliza. Next, we have Caden. Now, Caden has been on a real cookie and candy and all sorts of cooking kick lately. All he wants to do is bake, and so he's been experimenting with different candy recipes, from hard candies to soft candies. In the future, he's trying to make candy canes or ribbon candy. But what did you make for the show today?
Today I made some holiday gumdrops.
And let me just show you what those look like right here. So he made holiday gumdrops. And Caden, how did you make those?
So we started off by mixing some water, sugar, and unflavored gelatin to get this creamy liquid. And then we put them into 2 8x8 pans and added the flavoring and coloring.
So what kind of flavoring did you choose for the holiday season?
So we have 2 different types of coloring, and the green is mint and the red is strawberry.
If I had my choice, I was trying to find like a cinnamon extract, but I think you have to special order that. But I think the cinnamon would also be nice, but we could only find strawberry, and then we used green or mint for the green ones. Anything else you want to say?
So after that, we put the 2 8x8 pans into the fridge to let it cool for a few hours or overnight. After that, we cut them into small cubes and coated them in sugar.
All right.
Then we let them sit at room temperature for about 2 days. We only let them sit for about a day, but
so if you had the full 2 days, they'd probably get even better. All right, thank you, Caden. They look delicious. All right, and I'm going to quickly move on to my other recipes. I try every year to come up with at least one savory dish for the holidays, although I would prefer to make only sweets. But here we have ham and cheese roll-ups. These are a very quick recipe that you use with crescent dough, put on top ham and Swiss cheese, roll it up, cut it into spirals, and top it with a sauce of butter, Worcestershire sauce, onion flakes, and some yellow mustard. Cook those up for about 25 minutes, and you can decorate them festively like I have, and serve them at your holiday party that you're hosting or going to. And I'll get to our viewer recipe. This is for zesty lemon bread sent to us by Cindy Fitzgibbons of Cavendish, Vermont. She says it's always a popular holiday recipe in her house, and she must have known that I love lemon bread. So the trick to this is there's lemon zest in the batter, and there's also a secret sauce, I think, of lemon juice and sugar, which makes a nice crispy coating on top. So thank you, Cindy, for setting in this recipe. And my last one before I am done are these holiday shortbread bites. And I love the idea because I thought they'd be very small, that you'd only eat one or two. Problem is, they're so good you can't stop eating them. It's your typical shortbread recipe with flour, sugar, butter, almond extract, and some sprinkles. And they are good to go. And I promise you probably won't be able to only eat just one or two. And Carolyn's here with more recipes.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not sure which things I want to try first when we get done.
All right.
Well, I have my usual kind of a meal sort of thing, but I'm going to start off with a Christmas present. Down here in the front, I have a couple of canning jars, and in it is Friendship Soup Mix in a jar. So you can give them to people that you want to just, have some nice little gift. You fill them up with different, in this case, it has things like split peas and lentils, things like that. They can put it together, mix it up. After it's all cooked for a little while, then you put in some alphabet letters, the pasta letters, so you have an alphabet soup. I found a quart jar was too big, a pint and a half was too small, so you kind of have to figure out things as you're doing them. And if you want other ideas, go on your computer, and there are a million different possibilities, from desserts to main meals to just all sorts of things. Now, I have here a cheddar turkey casserole, and maybe you had turkey for Christmas, or you just have some left over. You might even take an already cooked chicken from the deli part of the grocery store, and it has the cut up turkey, it has spiral pasta. I used the 3-colored one because I thought, that's really nice for the holiday time. And it's a good way to use up the leftover turkey or chicken or whatever that you have. Cooks up very nicely, and you've got a really nice main dish for things. Now, we all know the usual green bean casserole. Well, this is a jazzed up green bean casserole. And of course it has the beans and the cream of mushroom soup and all of that, but it also has sliced water chestnuts. It has crumbled up bacon, and it has some of the processed cheese, and it has, of course, the French fried onion rings on top, and it cooks in the microwave. Does that surprise you with me doing it? And you can just put that to cook for 4 or 5 hours, and you've got a really nice green bean casserole that's a little different. Now, I have down here on the front, I have a chocolate buttermilk bread, and it will make one big loaf, or I made 5 little loaves. Some of them I wrapped up in a holiday foil, so you could give those away to people for Christmas. Another nice little gift. And it's, again, a very simple, just like a regular sweetbread recipe. Last I have, and I'm going to just kind of slide these over because maybe they'll show up better behind the jars. These are loaded brownies. And they aren't really brown brownies, but they've got butterscotch chips and marshmallows, chocolate chips, and walnuts in them, and they're a nice kind of ooey gooey sort of thing. Very delicious. I made these up, and we managed to eat about 1/3 of the pan of them before we got them up here. So they are very good. Wow. So that is my set of recipes.
Very nice, Carolyn, and happy Christmas to you and Howard.
Yes, you too.
Hardly seems possible. It's rolled around again.
Yep, Christmas and New Year's. So
Can't believe it.
I know.
Well, thank you very much. And before I show my recipes, I want to let all of you know that on Monday, December 5th, I'll be taking you to Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula to show you the changes I've seen since my first visit way back in 1979 and meet the dear friends that I've made in my almost 40 years of annual visits. I hope you can join me for that on Monday, right here on Across the Fence. And Joanne Davis up in St. Albans, I hope you are watching. Now, I'm going to begin with a dessert because I present last and I want to be sure I have time to show this to you. And here it is. It's a very nice treat for the holiday season. It's my maple cranberry cheese cake, and you're going to see why it is so good. And it'll be a hit at any holiday get-together. Now, first, you fill your graham cracker crust with a mixture of Vermont maple syrup, cream cheese, brown sugar, and sour cream. Bake it, and when it's done, put it in the fridge so it firms up like this. And now the best part, you make a compote of cranberries, maple syrup, Vermont maple syrup, and brown sugar. And I'm going to put some on so you can get a look at it now, and what a nice treat this would make. If you make only one dessert this holiday season, this is the 5-star treat that you will want to showcase. It is really good. Now we have to move on here to my main dish, and that comes from Virginia Lange up in Sheldon. She shares a lot of recipes with us. It's her cranberry chicken, and it's very super easy. It has just 5 ingredients. First, you bake your chicken for about 20 minutes at 50 degrees, then top it with a mixture of apples, raisins, cranberry sauce, chopped walnuts, and bake 25 minutes more. And I think this would be good for not only the holidays, but any time of year. And we thank Virginia for this main dish recipe. Now to go with our chicken, Teresa came up in East Burke, sent us her Christmas Jell-O salad. And not only is it attractive, but it is delicious. In here is the raspberry Jell-O, along with your crushed pineapple, some fresh or frozen raspberries, and 2 mashed bananas. And half of it goes into the dish, and then you set it in the fridge and let it firm up. And as you can see, there's some cream cheese in the center. Put the rest on top, and then you let it set in the fridge until it's ready to go. And this is a really delicious salad, a Christmas salad, and we thank Teresa for sending in that recipe. Now I'm going to move on to a recipe that came from Lynn Giroux up in Leicester. Well, it's down in Leicester for us. It's on the road down to Rutland, and it comes from her grandmother who grew up in South Attleboro, Massachusetts. In the late 1920s or early 30s, the Boston Gas Company sponsored a series of cooking classes at a local church, and the plum pudding recipe seems to be the only one that has survived. According to Lynn's aunt, who is now almost 100 years old, this pudding was meant to replace the traditional suet pudding that was rich and heavy, too much after stuffing yourself at the holiday meal. And we all know what that's like. And this is her plum pudding. Take a look at it. And it's made with raisins, prunes, which were once plums before you cooked them, chopped citrus, and grape nut cereal to give it a little crunch. And then it's all mixed with cherry Jell-O, and it firms up to look like this. And to top it off, she says, you must dollop it with some whipped cream. So we have that here. And wouldn't this be a nice dessert? It's an old-fashioned dessert. Comes back almost 100 years. And there we go. And we thank Teresa very much for sending in that recipe. Now, you viewers know that I always do a cookie platter here for our holiday show. And here's a couple of cookie recipes. The first one is right here. It's my apricot cherry bars. And they have a oatmeal crumble frosting or topping. And they're delicious. They're bake ahead and foolproof. That's my kind of recipe. And last, some sour cream drops sent in by Ramonia Allaire. She lives over in Hyde Park. It's her daughter Giselle's favorite recipe. They're easy to make with a delicious almond frosting. Sprinkle it with some Christmas colors or slivered almonds, and you are in for a treat.
Unbelievable. Look at all these recipes.
Yes, I'm out of breath.
We have a lot to eat. Now, as always, there are a couple of different ways that you can get these recipes. To get them online from the Across the Fence website, go to uvm.edu/extension, click on the link to Across the Fence, and you'll find the recipes on the left-hand side of the page. To get the recipes by mail, send $2 in a stamped self-addressed business-size envelope to Holiday Recipes, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont, 05486. And please remember, if you're ordering the recipes, to include $2 and a stamped self-addressed business-size envelope. We'll use your order to automatically enter you in the free drawing for the Christmas Country-style book. And even if you're not ordering, send along your name and address, and you'll be entered in the free drawing. The address again is Holiday Recipes, Box 188, South Hero, Vermont, 05486. And we'll be back on January 5th with favorite recipes for 2017. Now, before we go, I want to give you a special thanks to our chefs for the time and energy that they've put into preparing these amazing recipes every month here on Across the Fence. And thank you for watching, and best wishes from your friends here at Across the Fence.